Elon Musk just confirmed massive Tesla stock news. Investors are surprised, calling it a bombshell and a massive development. So let's go through all of today's Tesla stock news. The 260-mile range Model Ys built over the past several months actually have more range that can be unlocked for $1,500 to $2,000, gains 40 to 60 miles of range, depending on which battery cells you have. Tesla is working through regulatory approvals to enable this right now. And this comes as a major surprise to many investors. Elon Musk confirmed it after this news broke out. Tesla has launched a brand new long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y variant in the US with 320 miles of range, whereas the previous one had 260 miles of range. So you're telling me the vehicles that Tesla sold earlier had extra batteries for which Tesla did not charge, and therefore Tesla's margins in Q1 were actually lower than what we can expect them to be going forward? And on top of that, many people will be upgrading their range via a software update, basically, making earnings go up further. This is bullish on so many levels. James says, whoa, this is a massive change. And if you like this bullish change, like and subscribe. The old Model Y is now discontinued. The new one is $2,000 more, but you get 60 more miles of range, and it's actually a tiny little bit faster. James thinks this new change will help grow Tesla's volume at the expense of the trim mix. The long-range all-wheel drive model with 10 miles less range and $3,000 more expensive is now less appealing from a range perspective. However, it's still quite a bit faster, and it has all-wheel drive, which still makes it quite appealing. But I am beginning to understand now why Elon said he thinks deliveries will basically be higher this year compared to the previous year. Is there anything else he's not telling us that he knows about already? It's certainly possible. Also keep in mind that recently EPA made some changes which makes new models appear to have less range than they had before, but Tesla still increased the range massively despite these changes. So the deal is actually even better than what it looks like. And we know that range is a huge issue for many consumers, and this will help address that psychological barrier. And it will also be a better road trip car. The Tesla community is so excited about these changes, they are calling these bombshell developments. Definitely don't bet against Elon Musk. Going forward with a software update, not only can you make the car drive itself, make it accelerate faster, now you can get more range too. But if you think there's no more good news today, you are mistaken, because Pure AI Vision Auto Park is coming soon, confirms Elon Musk. Your Tesla will take you to your destination and park automatically unless you ask it otherwise. The current FSD version can park, and I tried it and it didn't damage anything, but it's a bit too finicky, it's too slow, it's not really that comfortable. I got people staring at me. It failed multiple times, but when I mean failed, it went into the parking spot, came out, went into it, came out, went into it, and then I got honked at, so I didn't try again. The current parking software, it sort of works, but it's not good enough for daily use. But that's going to change. Also, clearly, you will be able to talk to your car and tell FSD what to do, because Elon specified, unless you ask it otherwise, it will park. For me personally, at least, when I use FSD, auto parking is by far the worst part of FSD right now, because Tesla just didn't really focus on it. So when Tesla finally solves auto parking, it will get quite a bit more interesting again. Also, the annoying part right now with the auto park features that you have to intentionally pick the parking spot, and it's a bit finicky how these parking spots appear on the screen. I just find it a bit of a hassle. And V12.3.6 is actually even going out to 2016 Model S's. Wow. Yeah, I don't think you can put the newest iPhone iOS on an old iPhone. Well done, Tesla. Well done. And this is a pretty common now. Up to now, I was not impressed with the performance of FSD, but Tesla FSD, specifically for him, 12.3.6, is now taking me everywhere with no intervention. Definitely a game changer, and I am getting spoiled. Everywhere with no intervention. My 6-year-old Model 3 has learned magical new tricks, and it is not stopping there. Future of Tesla is bright. Tesla has sued an Indian battery maker for infringing its trademark by using the brand name Tesla Power to promote its product, seeking damages and a new permanent injunction against the company from a New Delhi judge. Some news from China. Good news also. Tesla's vehicles will now be able to go everywhere just like any domestic Chinese vehicle. For example, before, Tesla vehicles were not able to enter some office buildings, but that will not apply to Tesla anymore. So restrictions are being relaxed, which is good. And I'm pretty sure that's because of Elon's trip to China. Tesla is creating a voice assistant to replace voice commands. And we know that in China, Tesla has improved their voice commands in the vehicle by adding a smart assistant that can answer questions about the weather, stock quotes, and more.
今天临沂天气怎么样？临沂今天晴转多云。
It seems to me that Tesla's team in China is a bit more nimble. They got the Model 3 out so quickly and the ramp was so smooth. Over here in the US, in Fremont, things have been a bit slow with the Model 3. And we don't have a voice assistant yet in the US, but they already sort of do in China. Gally points out that Tesla right now is getting re-rated as an AI company. He's referencing the Episode 4 of the BG2 podcast. The smartest independent thinkers in the world are articulating the narrative that Tesla will solve FSD and is an AI winner. I haven't listened to this podcast, but maybe later I will. Warren Buffett reduced his Apple investment, so some are saying that maybe he will invest in Tesla stock. I don't think that's likely, but if he did, I think the stock would rally hard. Steven says a few years ago, almost no one saw a Tesla bot coming. What is the next thing almost no one sees coming from Tesla? Steven is jumping quite far ahead. I think many people are still not seeing FSD, and he's already talking beyond the Tesla bot. And yeah, most people don't think the bot will contribute to Tesla's feature at all meaningfully in the next 10 years. Let's entertain Steven's idea. Anyway, I think Jason has the best answer to this question. Every product Tesla makes builds upon previous products and technologies it develops. So my guess would be something that depends heavily on the Tesla bot. Maybe it would be teams of specialized Tesla bots with customized neural nets that are contracted out to take on massive projects, building infrastructure such as bridges, buildings, and massive mining and transport operations that will significantly reduce costs of raw materials. And I think Jason is actually making a lot of sense here. The decision to make AI robots be in humanoid form is probably one of the most important decisions ever for the alignment of AGI and human interests. We don't just need to align the software, we need to align the hardware too. We want AGI to relate to humans as much as possible. If they look too different from us and they don't sense and experience the real world anywhere remotely like we do, their interests and goals will drift too far from our own no matter what we do. They won't understand humans and they won't emphasize with humans if their understanding of us is purely intellectual and non-visceral. Elon Musk just made a dire prediction with 100% probability. God said war is coming. Some imbeciles are questioning the scope of this prediction, so let me be clearer. Civil war is coming to the West, and Elon Musk thinks there's a 100% probability of that happening. I think that explains why Elon Musk is spending a significant amount of time on X posting and replying to many political posts. Pretty much daily, you will see quite a few. Some are not strong comments, but there are some stronger comments as well. Anyway, I think Tesla stock investors should be well aware of this because this tells me that Elon Musk thinks it's a real problem and he will spend time on things that he deems as problems. So it's something I will keep an eye on. Tesla has released a new quote from one of the top 10 largest Tesla shareholders in the world about Elon Musk's 2018 pay package. The name is not disclosed though, but the quote is here. With regard to the 2018 compensation, we do not think it's fair to set out a new set of options subject to a fresh set of performance hurdles. The requirements of the 2018 package were extraordinarily ambitious and they were delivered. It is not reasonable for investors to expect to reabsorb the cancelled options and consider all the value creation to have been delivered to us for no consideration. Therefore, if it is legally advisable, we suggest simply subjecting the original 2018 package to a new shareholder vote. Dylan says I'm a shareholder, they refer it to just for your information. Definitely not, but That's a good one. Electric reports that Tesla has sent out the following email to Supercharger suppliers and contractors. You may be aware that there has been a recent adjustment with the Supercharger organization, which is presently undergoing a sudden and thorough restructuring. If you have already received this email, please disregard it, as we are attempting to connect with our suppliers and contractors. As part of this process, we are in the midst of establishing new leadership roles, prioritizing projects, and streamlining our payment procedures. Due to the transitional nature of this phase, we are asking for your patience with our response time. I understand that this period of change may be challenging and that patience is not easy when expecting to be paid. However, I want to express my sincere appreciation for your understanding and support as we navigate through this transition. At this time, please hold on breaking ground on any newly awarded construction projects and planned pre-construction walks. If currently working on an active supercharging construction site, please continue. Additionally, hold on working on any new material orders. So a new team is basically being put in place, but it's really bumpy right now because the same email was basically sent to the same people multiple times, which shows that there's a lack of structure and things are a bit in a chaos right now. This is great news for consumers, maybe not so much for automakers. This used vehicle index suggests a 13.7% year-on-year price drop in used vehicle prices. And used EVs saw a drop of 18.3% year-over-year. Electrics reporter Fred is a Tesla shareholder, and he has some thoughts about Elon's compensation package. I see many people having issues voting against Elon's compensation package due to the argument that the milestones in the plan were already accomplished. Many believe it is immoral not to pay Elon his package and vote on this for anything other than the actual compensation package. Yes, morality has been brought up to me. Some see it as immoral not to give Elon $55 billion in stock. While I certainly wouldn't go that far, I do share the sentiment that the vote should be just about the compensation package. However, it is not that simple, he says. First off, if you want to stick completely to the compensation package, there's an argument that now with the knowledge from the litigation that Elon and his team came up with the compensation and the board signed up on it with little to no negotiating and without any clause related to Elon's employment/time spent on Tesla or restrictions on conflicts of interest, you can reasonably vote against it. Fred conveniently forgets the fact that Elon stated before that if he had to have a specific time amount committed to Tesla, he would have not accepted the compensation package. And possibly he would have not been at Tesla anymore. Maybe. We don't know for sure because we voted and approved the compensation package back in 2018. Although I personally wasn't a shareholder yet, I became a Tesla investor in early 2019. This certainly factors into my decision, but there's more. While I again share the sentiment that we shouldn't account for our opinion of Elon over the last 2 years into the decision, what other option do we have if we as shareholders have disagreements with the board and Elon? The board and Elon have both proven that they have no efficient feedback loop. That has been broken by Elon's social media addiction, his sycophants, and the board's too close relationship with Elon. Number 3, we also now know what Elon does after exercising shares from Tesla stock options. What did he do with his 2012 compensation package? He sold it to buy Twitter, turned it into a pay-to-play platform, and claimed that those who pay are basically donating to free speech, a complete farce. I think Fred is saying that he is against Elon Musk's political positions. So in a sense, it appears to me what he's also indirectly saying is that he does not want Elon Musk to have more power, so therefore, and I'm just implying here, maybe this is not position and maybe he's not even consciously doing so, but would you want someone who opposes your political views to have $50 billion more, even if you thought they earned it, but you had a chance to take that money away from them? How would you vote? The way he unloaded those shares also contributed to crashing the stock. It would be voting against my own interest as a Tesla shareholder to do it again. I think it would be also pretty important for this context to mention that Elon Musk could not sell any of that stock from the 2018 package for at least 5 years after he exercises these stock options, and he has not exercised these stock options yet. For all those reasons combined, I think I need to vote against, and I think it's okay to use the vote as a vote of confidence against Elon rather than just the compensation package, because I do believe that Elon is making some moves at Tesla now that are not aligned with the mission. If you want to talk about morality, I think that's not moral. Here's what Fred said about the compensation package back in 2018. It looks like the plan will pass without any issue, which is not exactly surprising considering the amount of value it would create for shareholders if successful. It sounds like he voted for the compensation package initially. He continues, the plan attracted some criticism, mostly from non-shareholder, for giving Musk even more control over the company, but that control is dependent on him helping push Tesla to become one of the most valuable companies in the world based on market cap. You can't expect shareholders not to vote for something like that, even if it's just a possibility. By the way, the part where Fred talks about not having enough negotiation between the board and Elon Musk, to me, that part, okay, so let's say I buy a piece of property and I see the listing and the list price says $1 million and I like it so much that I say, you know what? Okay, I'll pay you your listing price, $1 million. I pay for the property. Now it's my property, but a judge later, years later, comes back to me and says, oh, you did not negotiate for this property. You just paid the list price. And therefore, the buyer, we're gonna just reverse this whole thing and you don't own the property anymore. Not having enough negotiation, to me, that's the weakest argument of all, because the shareholders approved it. If shareholders did not approve it and there was no negotiation, okay, I can somehow see that argument to make more sense, because the board is supposed to act in the best interest of shareholders. And if shareholders do not agree, okay, you can make that argument, but shareholders agreed overwhelmingly. And it was so well known that Elon Musk had a fairly close relationship with the Tesla board members. So I think Fred's arguments are fairly weak here. From what I see here is he doesn't want Elon Musk to keep leading the company and he's voting against Elon. He perhaps wants Elon out. That's the only thing to me that makes some remote sense why someone would actually want to vote against this compensation package. You want Elon to disappear from Tesla. You want Elon out. And the way you can do that is by taking the money from people that they already earned. That's an easy way to get someone really upset with you. But I personally would prefer to be an ally of Elon Musk. I don't want Elon Musk to think of Tesla shareholders as his enemy. So I am strongly in favor of reapproving Elon's compensation package. So make sure that you vote if you haven't yet. That's it for today's video. Make sure to click the like button so that we can make sure that there's no shadow ban on this channel. Here's another video from my other channel showing that it's only getting about half of the views it would normally get because my videos are only shown to about 50% of the regular viewers in the first few days. And then after the first 3 days, it does push it out a little bit more, but because it's no longer news, it's old, no one's interested. So I appreciate everyone clicking the like button. That really helps. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt Postius, and I will see you back in tomorrow's episode.